That tea bag you just dropped in boiling water is releasing billions of plastic particles into your cup. Not hundreds, not thousands, billions, and you're drinking it. Most UK tea bags contain plastic to seal them together. When hot water comes into contact with that plastic, it breaks down into microplastics and nanoplastics that end up in your body. A single tea bag can release 11.6 billion microplastic particles and 3.1 billion nanoplastic particles into 1 cup of tea. The UK drinks 100 million cups of tea every single day. That's 60.2 billion cups per year. And 96% of those cups are made with tea bags. Most contain plastic. You've been drinking plastic for years without knowing it. I've spent weeks investigating UK tea brands, analysing university research studies, and speaking to scientists who tested these products. What I discovered will make you question every cup of tea you've ever drunk. Some brands were using 99% nylon in their tea bags. Others contained polypropylene plastic that leached massive amounts of microplastics when tested in laboratories. By the end of this, you'll know exactly which tea brands to avoid, why the plastic is there, and what it's doing to your body. This isn't speculation. This is verified science. Number 8. Typhoo tea bags. Let's start with Typhoo, a brand millions of UK households trust. Typhoo tea bags contain polypropylene plastic in their heat seal. This plastic holds the paper together so the bag doesn't fall apart in hot water. The problem is that polypropylene degrades when exposed to boiling water. The heat breaks down the plastic structure, releasing microscopic particles into your tea. These particles are so small you can't see them, but they're there. A study by researchers at the University of East Anglia tested major UK tea brands for plastic content. Typhoo was among the brands that still use traditional plastic sealing. The researchers used infrared spectroscopy to identify the exact type of plastic in each tea bag. Polypropylene is considered food safe by manufacturers, but food safe doesn't mean it's inert when heated. The chemical bonds in polypropylene break down at high temperatures, and your tea is brewed at 95 degrees Celsius. The company hasn't committed to removing plastic entirely from its standard range. While some premium brands have switched to plant-based alternatives, Typhoo's main products still contain the traditional plastic seal. When you throw Typhoo tea bags in your compost bin, you're contaminating your compost with plastic. Polypropylene doesn't biodegrade. It breaks into smaller and smaller pieces, but it never disappears. Those microplastics end up in your garden soil, then potentially in the food you grow. The packaging doesn't tell you there's plastic inside. Most consumers assume tea bags are just paper and tea. The plastic is hidden, sealed inside what looks like an entirely paper product. Each Typhoo tea bag contains approximately 0.04 grams of plastic. That sounds tiny until you calculate how many cups you drink per year. If you have 3 cups daily, that's over 43 grams of plastic packaging you're exposing to boiling water annually. But if you think Typhoo is bad, wait until you see what a premium brand is still getting away with. Number 7. Tailors of Harrogate specialty teas. Now we get to Tailors of Harrogate. Yorkshire tea, their main product, switched to plant-based materials, but their specialty tea range still contains polypropylene plastic. In October 2024, Tailors confirmed to consumers that their specialty teas are heat-sealed with polypropylene. They admitted they haven't changed these tea bags to plant-based paper because the bags are a different shape and construction. The company explained that these bags are made on special machines that take longer to reconfigure. They've had trouble changing the machines over to make suitable bags from plant-based paper. Here's what makes this infuriating. Tailors of Harrogate positions itself as a premium brand. Their teas cost more than budget supermarket versions, yet they're still using old plastic technology while charging premium prices. The specialty range includes fruit teas, green teas, and herbal infusions. These products attract health-conscious consumers who specifically choose premium brands believing they're getting better quality. They're paying extra for plastic. The excuse about machine configuration doesn't hold up. If smaller brands with less money can make the switch, a company owned by Betty's and Taylor's Group can afford to upgrade their equipment. And that's just one premium brand playing games with transparency, but the biggest global tea company has an even messier plastic situation. Number 6. Lipton tea bags. Lipton is one of the world's biggest tea brands, and their plastic situation is a mess. Lipton uses different materials across their product range, and it's not transparent about which products contain what. According to Lipton's own statements, they use a range of materials for tea bags across their portfolio. This includes paper and compostable tea bags, paper tea bags with a small percentage of plastic, and pyramid tea bags made from PET. PET is polyethylene terephthalate. That's the same plastic used in disposable water bottles. When you steep a Lipton pyramid tea bag in boiling water, you're essentially putting hot water through plastic. A study found that tea bags made with PET release significant amounts of plastic particles. The transparent, silky appearance of pyramid bags appeals to consumers who think they're getting a premium product. You're actually getting more direct plastic contact with your tea. Lipton told consumers they're actively working towards moving out of petroleum-based to plant-based plastics. That was their response years ago. The timeline for completion: they don't say. The specific products affected: they don't clearly identify them. When a consumer asked specifically about their black tea range, Lipton wouldn't give a direct answer. They just repeated their generic statement about using a range of materials. This deliberate vagueness prevents consumers from making informed choices. Here's what we know for certain. Lipton's pyramid bags contain PET plastic. Their standard paper bags contain a percentage of plastic for sealing. Their loose leaf tea is the only option guaranteed to be plastic-free, but loose leaf makes up a tiny fraction of their UK sales. The company has the resources to switch completely to plastic-free materials. They're owned by Unilever, a multinational corporation worth billions. But they're dragging their feet because retooling production lines costs money. If vague corporate statements frustrate you, you're going to be shocked by what researchers found in this next brand. Number 5. Teavana tea bags. Teavana, owned by Starbucks until recently, markets premium loose-leaf teas in silky pyramid sachets. The University of East Anglia study found that Teavana tea bags were 97% PET plastic. 97%. These aren't paper bags with plastic sealing. They're plastic mesh bags holding tea leaves. The entire structure is PET, the same plastic used in disposable water bottles. When UEA researchers dissolved away the minimal paper content using copper ammonium solution, they were left with nearly complete plastic tea bag skeletons. You're steeping a plastic bag in boiling water and calling it tea. PET stands for polyethylene terephthalate. It's a petroleum-based thermoplastic polymer designed for durability. But durability doesn't mean stability at high temperatures. When exposed to boiling water, peat breaks down and releases particles. The study found PET bags released approximately 1.2 billion plastic fragments per milliliter of tea. That's per milliliter. A standard cup of tea is about 230 milliliters. Do the math, that's over 270 billion plastic particles in a single cup. Teavana confirmed to investigators that their store-bought tea bags are made from plastic. They didn't hide it when directly asked, but the packaging doesn't prominently display this information. Consumers see premium loose-leaf tea and silky pyramid sachets and assume quality. At least Teavana admits their bags are plastic when asked directly, but this next brand actually removed that information from their website. Number 4. Dilmah regular tagless tea bags. Dilmah markets itself as a quality Ceylon tea brand. Their regular tagless tea bags contain polypropylene plastic in the heat seal. The company's own sustainability report confirmed this. The tagless bags, which they also call pop bags, are made from paper tissue with polypropylene fibers used for the heat seal. The plastic makes up about 2% of the total bag weight. That might sound minimal, but it's enough to contaminate compost and release microplastics. Dilmah has a range of products. Their Pyramid Exceptional Tea Selection bags are made with plant-based PLA. Their standard tea bags with strings, tags and envelopes are mostly cellulose and don't contain polypropylene. But the tagless bags, which are incredibly popular in the UK market, still have the plastic seal. The company knows there's a problem. They removed the FAQ answer about plastic content from their website. The information used to be publicly available in FAQ number 4. Now it's gone. The only way to find out is by contacting them directly or reading their sustainability report that most consumers will never see. Dilmah claims their tagless tea bags are convenient because they don't have strings or staples, but that convenience requires plastic sealing to keep the bags closed. A string and tag held together with a stitch would be plastic-free, but they've chosen the cheaper manufacturing method instead. If you're a Dilmah customer, you need to know this. The tagless convenience you're paying for comes with a plastic cost. Switch to their string and tag versions if you want to keep drinking Dilmah, or find a genuinely plastic-free alternative. Removing transparency is shady, but what's worse is a major brand that spent 7 years promising change while selling plastic to millions. Number 3. Tetley tea bags. Tetley is the third biggest tea company in the UK. For years, they've been working on removing plastic from their tea bags. The University of East Anglia study that tested UK brands found Tetley bags contained 30% polypropylene. That's nearly 1/3 plastic. The UEA study, which was featured on the BBC's War on Plastic with Hugh and Anita, specifically tested Tetley and found it leached the most microplastic particles of all the brands tested. When researchers brewed empty Tetley tea bags in hot water and measured the particles released, the numbers were shocking. Tetley's website said for years, with 9 million tea bags to convert, we can't change all of our bags at once. That excuse lasted from 2018 through 2024, nearly 7 years of promising change while continuing to sell plastic tea bags. The company finally switched their main ranges to PLA plant-based material in early 2025, but millions of older Tetley tea bags are still in cupboards across the UK. If you have Tetley Original 120s or 240s bought before 2025, they contain polypropylene. Tetley sold hundreds of millions of plastic-sealed tea bags during those 7 years of transition. Every one of those tea bags released polypropylene microplastics into someone's cup. The company knew it was happening. They had the research. They chose profit over safety. The 30% polypropylene content is massive. Most brands using plastic have 5 to 10%. Tetley had 3 times that amount. When UEA researchers measured microplastic release, Tetley was the worst performer. More plastic in the bag equals more plastic in your tea. Tetley's 30% polypropylene was terrible, but the University of East Anglia study found something even worse in a supermarket premium range. Number 2. Morrison's, the best tea bags. Now we're at the worst offender in the University of East Anglia study. Morrison's The Best Tea Bags were 99% nylon, not paper with nylon sealing, 99% nylon mesh with 1% actual paper content. When researchers dissolved the paper component using copper ammonium solution, they were left with complete nylon tea bag skeletons. These bags were essentially plastic nets holding tea leaves. You weren't steeping paper in your cup, you were steeping plastic. The irony of calling them the best while making them from 99% plastic is stunning. Morrison's positioned this range as their premium offering, higher prices, better packaging, marketing language about quality. Meanwhile, it was almost entirely synthetic nylon. Morrison's knew. They had to know. You don't manufacture 331 million tea bags per year without understanding what they're made of. The company chose nylon because it was cheaper than developing paper alternatives. If you bought Morrison's The Best Tea before 2023, you were drinking plastic. If you composted those bags, you contaminated your garden soil. The company owes millions of customers an explanation and an apology. Neither has come. Those 331 million nylon tea bags per year for multiple years. Most ended up in compost bins. The microplastics from those bags are now in UK garden soil, and they'll stay there for centuries. The premium positioning makes this even more offensive. Budget shoppers buying value range tea bags might expect corners to be cut, but the best range charged premium prices while delivering premium plastic content. 99% nylon in a premium range is shocking, but the number one spot goes to a 300-year-old heritage brand betraying centuries of trust. Number 1. Twinings Pyramid Loose Leaf Tea Bags. And the number one spot goes to Twinings Pyramid Loose Leaf Tea Bags, a brand with over 300 years of heritage, trusted by millions, selling plastic tea bags marketed as premium loose leaf experiences. Twinings describes their pyramid bags as silky and beautiful. That silky texture? It's plastic. For years, Twinings used nylon for their pyramid range. They've since switched to PLA, which is plant-based plastic made from cornstarch. But PLA is still plastic. The company's own website describes these as silky, loose-leaf pyramid bags containing the finest teas from the best gardens around the world. The marketing emphasizes quality, tradition, and premium ingredients. What it doesn't emphasize is that you're steeping those premium ingredients through plastic mesh. A July 2024 study published in the Science of the Total Environment journal examined how PLA bioplastic tea bags deteriorate in environmental conditions. The findings were disturbing. PLA breakdown negatively impacts earthworms, causing harm to their health, growth, reproduction, and burrowing behavior. The packaging shows beautiful tea gardens and describes exotic origins. The back of the box mentions the bags are biodegradable and can go in food waste bins. What it doesn't clearly explain is that biodegradable means industrial composting only, and that the bags still release microplastics during brewing. Twinings confirmed in December 2024 that all of the tea bags we produce use plant-based biodegradable materials. They frame this as environmental progress, but plant-based plastic is still plastic. The microplastic release hasn't stopped. It's just coming from corn instead of petroleum. What's most frustrating is how Twinings markets these products to health-conscious consumers. The pyramid range includes wellness teas, detox blends. Herbal infusions are marketed for specific health benefits. You're buying tea to improve your health while simultaneously drinking plastic. This is where we pause. 8 categories of UK tea products, millions of consumers affected, billions of microplastic particles consumed daily. I know this is overwhelming, probably disgusting, maybe making you angry. But there's good news. Not all UK tea brands are selling you plastic. Some companies actually care about what goes into your cup. 3 brands stand out as genuinely plastic-free. No PLA, no nylon, no petroleum polymers. Just tea, paper and cotton. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to spot plastic in tea bags yourself for simple visual tests. You'll never accidentally buy plastic tea bags again. Let's start with the brands that got it right. Number 3. Higher Living Teas. Higher Living is a British family-owned company that makes genuinely plastic-free tea bags. Not PLA, not plant-based plastic, actually plastic-free. Their tea bags are made from unbleached paper. No chlorine bleaching, no chemical whitening, just natural wood pulp paper in its original colour. The bags are stitched together with organic cotton string. There's no heat sealing, no plastic glue, no staples, just paper folded and stitched with cotton thread, the way tea bags were made before plastic became the cheap solution. You can watch videos on their website showing exactly how the bags are made. The cotton string is literally stitched through the paper to create the bag shape. It's visible. You can see the stitching. There's nothing hidden. The bags are completely home compostable. Put them in your compost bin and they'll break down in 90 days, not industrially compostable, requiring special facilities. Home compostable means your garden compost heap. The bags feel different from heat-sealed plastic bags. They're softer, the paper has texture, the cotton string is substantial, not the thin synthetic strings on many tea bags. When you compost higher living bags, they actually disappear. No plastic skeleton left behind, no microplastic contamination. They become soil. Higher living proves plastic-free tea bags are possible, but this next brand actually pioneered the method in the UK. Number 2. Hampstead Tea. Hampstead Tea was the first tea company in the UK to use the stitch method for tea bags. They pioneered the plastic-free approach before it became a marketing trend. Their bags are made from unbleached paper derived from plant-based wood pulp. The paper is natural, biodegradable, and home compostable. No chemical treatments, no synthetic coatings. Each bag is stitched with organic cotton string. Hampstead uses the same folding and stitching method as Higher Living. The bags are sealed mechanically, not chemically. The company is explicit about its commitment. Their website has an entire section explaining their plastic-free packaging. They detail every material used. They explain why they chose these methods. Hampstead Tea specializes in organic and biodynamic teas. They were the first British biodynamic tea company. This means their farming practices go beyond organic, focusing on soil health and ecological balance. The tea bags contain only 4 components: unbleached paper, organic cotton string, organic tea leaves, and sometimes organic herbs or spices. That's it. Nothing synthetic, nothing petroleum-based. Hampstead's loose leaf range uses NatureFlex packaging. This is a wood pulp-based material that's home compostable. It looks like plastic, but it's actually renewable wood pulp that breaks down completely. If you want premium organic tea without plastic, Hampstead is the gold standard. They've been doing this since before most companies even acknowledged the plastic problem. Hampstead set the standard for premium plastic-free tea, but the number 1 spot goes to the brand you can find in nearly every UK supermarket. Number 1. Pukka Herbs. Pukka is the most widely available, genuinely plastic-free tea brand in the UK. You'll find them in nearly every supermarket, health food shop, and online retailer. Pukka was the first company ever to use 100% organic, non-GMO cotton tea bag strings. They pioneered organic cotton stitching, eliminating the need for metal staples or polypropylene plastic. Their tea bag paper is made from a special blend of natural abaca, wood pulps, and plant cellulose fibers. Abaca is a type of banana plant that produces strong, biodegradable fiber. Pukka uses a simple stitch of organic cotton combined with a unique folding process. The bags self-seal without needing heat, glue, or plastic. It's mechanical engineering instead of chemical bonding. The bags are certified home compostable under UK standards. You can put the entire tea bag, including the paper, string, and herbs, in your food waste bin or home compost. The tag should go in the paper recycling. Pukka specializes in herbal and wellness teas. Their range includes over 40 varieties focused on specific benefits: relax, detox, energy, sleep, digestion. Each blend is designed by herbal experts and nutritionists. The company is Soil Association certified organic. Every herb used is organically grown. The farming practices prioritize soil health and biodiversity. Pukka teas are also Fair Wild certified where applicable. This means wild harvested ingredients are sustainably sourced with fair payment to collectors. It's ethical sourcing throughout the supply chain. You can buy Pukka in Tesco, Sainsbury's, Waitrose, Asda, Morrison's, Co-op, and independent shops. It's everywhere. The packaging is 100% recyclable. The boxes are cardboard. The individual wrappers used to be plastic lined, but Pukka switched to widely recyclable paper envelopes. The price point is mid-range. Pukka costs more than budget supermarket tea, but less than luxury specialist brands. It's affordable quality with genuine sustainability. Pukka bags contain zero polypropylene, zero PLA, zero plastic of any kind. brand. They're genuinely plastic-free and have been for years. Now let's talk about how to spot plastic in tea bags yourself. You don't need to trust brands. You can test tea bags at home to identify plastic. Simple visual tests reveal what's really in your cup. For the tear test, take a tea bag and try to tear it. Real paper tears easily and separates into fibrous strands. Plastic stretches and resists tearing. Nylon pyramid bags won't tear at all, they just stretch. PET bags stretch significantly before tearing. Heat-sealed paper bags tear, but the seal area resists because that's where the plastic is concentrated. Do this test with every new brand. It takes 5 seconds. For the visual test, look at your tea bag. Does it have a silky smooth texture? That's plastic. Paper has visible fibers and texture. Pyramid bags marketed as silky are always plastic. Transparent or translucent bags are made of plastic. You can't make see-through paper. Bright white tea bags are chemically bleached and usually heat-sealed with plastic. Unbleached paper is beige or light brown. For the burn test, hold an empty tea bag with tweezers and light it outdoors over a metal bowl. Real paper burns quickly with orange flame. It smells like burning paper or wood. It produces ash. Plastic melts, drips, produces black smoke, and smells chemical. Nylon melts into beads. PET melts and drips. Safety warning: do this outdoors. The smell is toxic. Look for explicit claims: plastic-free, no polypropylene stitched with cotton. Be suspicious of vague claims: biodegradable, compostable, plant-based. These usually hide PLA, which is plant-based plastic. Industrially compostable means it needs special facilities. Home compostable means it breaks down in your garden. If the packaging says PLA anywhere, it contains plastic. Look for materials: abaca fiber, wood pulp, organic cotton string, unbleached paper. These indicate plastic-free. This test reveals the truth. Companies can claim biodegradability, but your compost heap proves whether it's real. If you want truly plastic-free tea, you have 3 options. 1. Buy the genuinely plastic-free brands: Pukka, Hampstead, Higher Living, and a few specialist brands. 2. Switch to loose leaf tea. Buy quality loose tea and use a stainless steel infuser, glass infuser, or ceramic teapot. 3. Buy reusable cotton tea bags. Fill them with loose tea. Wash and reuse them indefinitely. You don't have to keep drinking plastic. The alternatives exist. They're accessible. They work. The 8 brands I exposed in part 1 were selling you plastic, either knowingly or through willful ignorance. The 3 brands I just recommended are doing it right. Make the switch. Your body will thank you. Your compost will thank you. The planet will thank you. Have you tried any of these plastic-free brands? Are you planning to switch from your current tea? What's your biggest challenge in going plastic-free? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this series opened your eyes to what's really in your tea, share it with everyone you know who drinks tea. They deserve to know what they're consuming with every cup.